Hey, good morning. It's Jen with Lady Tarot 911 and Miss Nala. She's underneath the desk, just chilling. How is everybody? It is the week coming up of the Pisces or the full moon in Pisces. So what that means is that could create like a dreamy, fantasizing type of sense in all of us. And it also, because it is Pisces, it allows for emotions to flow a little easier, a little more freely. This is a moon about coming back to center, balancing out things that maybe were a little off kilter within yourself, within relationships with other people. And this moon is called the harvest moon because it is the moon that rises closest to the sunset, or is closest to the sunset, I should say. Not rises, because if it's the sunset, it's going down. But it in placement wise, it is the moon that's closest to the sun. So in turn, it's the brightest. Now that also leads to opening up with intuition. As emotions flow, that means you're more open to receiving and not so restricted, which means that you receive messages and guidance, and that is why your intuition is better. So I thought we would do a kind of a combo read this week to see how your week's going to go with your soulmate, whoever that is that's on your mind, your person. So that could be a love interest, that could be a family member, a colleague, just a friend, somebody, that you've been maybe just going through some challenges with, whoever. But we'll check you versus them, what the energy will be like under the influence of this moon. And then also, because it will highlight a little bit about intuition, and with this brighter moon, us being able to use our intuition, but it also highlights the psychic abilities and gifts that you might have that you don't pay attention to. So I'm calling it your superpower, and we're going to see what superpower you will have during this next week under the energy of the full moon in Pisces, and what you need to look for and what you need to know about that superpower, how you can use that superpower, because it's unique to you and your current situation and the energies that are happening. So everybody is at a different place, different timelines, different situations. But I wanted to know what superpower you have that you can look for and hone into and be able to possibly practice using to help you in your situation that might be taking place this week. So I'm going to cut off the intro, and then I'll just do it sign by sign, and I'll just post your signs in the on my regular page. So you guys have a great week, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Cancer. Hey Cancer, it's Jen. I'm back to do this for you. So I am pulling you versus your soulmate, whoever that is on your mind. That could be a boss, a friend, a family member, a child. It could be a love interest, whoever's on your mind right now. Let's look into how this full moon in Pisces this week, the 11th through the 18th, is going to affect the energy between the both of you or individually. And then we're going to look at what your superpower is for this week. What psychic ability or gift should you hone in on, or recognize, or realize you have, or practice if you're already very connected in the spiritual realm. We're going to look at how maybe you can use that in this situation with your soulmate, or just use it with yourself, being able to, practice that and perfect it, because all of these psychic gifts that we get, the intuition, that we have is such a gift. I mean, it's the answer to, you know, making decisions and going the right direction and following your life's path in a positive, you know, productive manner, being happier and knowing that you're being led from your 5D self, a higher perspective. So let's look at where you're at. Where is Cancer during September 11th through the 18th under the Pisces full moon energy? Okay, so it looks like you are Page of Swords. So maybe messages coming in, communication, and your person is the moon. The moon. Okay, so we're talking about Pisces. It took me a second there. Pisces moon. Moon is about intuition. Moon is about maybe secrets, maybe hidden things. I mean, it's not as revealing as things are not as revealed as they are with the moon. Okay, speak. Things are not revealed as much or as great with a moon as it is with the sun, as they are with the sun. So maybe not seeing everything, you know, that you need to see, or your soulmate needs to see, maybe being a little confused, but we're going to clarify and find out. Your overall energy, well, here you go, is Ace of Swords. So Ace of Swords is coming to a realization, understanding, figuring it out, you know, either by your intuition with this Pisces full moon intuition, opening up and allowing to receive downloads of a higher picture, a higher perspective, of a bigger picture, but Ace of Swords. So we're going to find out if this is for both of you or if this is for you. Page of Swords is about, well, there's multiple different things. Page of Swords can be about learning. It could be about spying. So yeah, there could be physical spying, but it's also about, spying can be thinking a lot about somebody, or just energetically, you know, at that point where, you know, the energy is between you two. You start analyzing that and become curious about that. It can literally be just thinking about your person or the situation that's at hand. Or you might be looking into things, you know, going a little deeper, either within yourself. I'm guessing, I feel the energy as more about going within yourself, getting curious within yourself as you're coming to this, you know, the clarity of this Ace of Swords and understanding things. If you can see, there's light bulbs above her head, just getting it, like figuring it out and going, okay, wait a minute. I get it. This is why I was feeling this way. This is why I looked at things this way. This is why this happened. This is the reason for this. And just really coming up with some, you know, listening to your intuition and letting that guide you to a different understanding. And for your soulmate, when you have the Ace of Swords and the moon, I mean, that's getting it. That's figuring it out. That's potentially aha moments and enlightenment, transformation. But we're going to clarify right now and see. Now, Page of Swords, this is all yellow, which yellow is happiness. So I have a feeling that it's going to be a good week for you. The blue and the green are a lot of what's happening with this moon because of freer flowing with the Pisces. Pisces is part of the water signs, the Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. group, and they're about emotion. So this week, emotions are flowing a little easier. The blue chakra, or the blue is the throat chakra, and the green is the heart chakra. So your person's heart might be, heart chakra might be opening, which obviously allows for emotions. And, you know, maybe they have had problems with that they didn't, that's not something that they tapped into, or couldn't tap into for a long time in their life, and they're going through a transformation and it's confusing, or they're starting to feel things that they haven't felt before for whatever reason. I mean, obviously, if you're their soulmate and you are tapped into the divine and the 5D, and, you know, your spirituality, maybe you're an influence for that. Maybe just through your light and your happiness, like in the Page of Swords, you know, you sorry about that. You are, you know, you've become what other people find very curious and want to know more about. But let's see what you have going here. Okay, so you got the choose to be peaceful. And well, and this says, so this is the whip. So arguments, hot sex, conflicts, revenge, feeling like you're being punished, choose to be peaceful. This one is a potential lover, soulmate, or an important woman. Connect with your feminine energy. Okay. So, to me, I think that you're very curious. You have questions you want answers for. You have questions that you want a deeper understanding, deeper knowledge about. And in doing so is a very ego-based, can be very ego-based, can be very logical and assertive and masculine. And I think for this week, this is asking you to maybe hone in on your more feminine, laid back, not laid back necessarily, but pulled back, your energy not so assertive and formative, and be able to receive what your intuition is telling you. Understand, I mean, she does have these white streaks, you know, tapping into her higher self and the knowledge that she's getting from her intuition, and maybe not having to try and figure it out, or not being so forceful and aggressive during this week, and just pulling back a little bit. I know that a lot of the divine feminine are very strong, independent, because of what they've gone through, what they've been put through in relationships in their lives. They've just, as they go through this spiritual journey, it's just been brutal at times. And the divine feminine can tend to be, I can do it all, independent, masculine energy, which being independent is great. We all, each one of us, masculine, feminine, and there's no gender in tarot. It's just talking about the dualities, should be independent so that they can, you know, so that you don't have codependencies. And it's more of a if when you have relationships, it's interdependent versus codependent. And that's important, but it's also important to make sure that your own masculine and feminine are balanced so that you don't overpower the, you know, the femininity. I feel great. Let's try that again. The femininity and the masculinity of another person. Hey, you try to say that and say it 5 times fast. But just to balance yours so that it doesn't overpower on somebody else's. And I mean, that's why we're all here, right? That's what the universe is trying to get us to do, is in these soulmate connections within ourselves, within the collective, worldwide, is to create balance. That's the universe's job. Just like the brain's job is to keep us safe, the universe wants us to balance. And you could be out of balance, this week, and need to rebalance those dualities between, within yourself, and pull back a little bit and let your guards down maybe a little bit, receive more, maybe not have to fight as hard, I guess, but still knowing who you are. There's a difference between swords and shields, right? Shields protect us, swords we fight with. So maybe letting down the swords a little bit and just being wise, tapping into your intuition and letting that guide versus your ego and your mind and your mouth, your words. And that's what I'm getting, from that. Let's see where your soulmate is at. Why is the moon here? Hold on 1 second. Wait, I'm gonna pull. Okay, hold on 1 second. Clarify this, thank you. Okay, give me 1 second. This one's kind of got me stuck, just understanding the correlation. I think that your person's heart chakra, there's a lot of green here. Okay, so they got the Hanged Man. So we've got the moon and the Hanged Man. The correlation between these, very much heart chakra. Their heart chakra could be opening with this Ace of Swords, coming into clarity, spiritually awakening, understanding the connections in their life, relationships in their life. This is about them getting clarity and seeing things from a new perspective when it comes to relationships and unions and contracts and promises that are made. And they're taking back their power. This one says bear. So ego, boss, father figure, protector, something big is coming in, take back your power. And so when we're confused, we allow others to control us, or allow behaviors or actions or ways of life to continue if we don't take our power back and take control of our life. And the way to do that, this is Raccoon. Shrewdness, knowing how to make it happen, uses logic, has many roles, and knows how to play them. It looks to me like this person is maybe needing to find more of the intuition and tap into the 5D, take off this mask of ego. This, they could be having an ego death, been going through an ego death while awakening. I mean, we all do. And, maybe coming to some clarity and understanding of what this relationship means to them, what they want in their life, how they want to move forward, and just a sense of understanding and clarity, which it looks like they've been stuck for a while. Maybe their heart is opening to this relationship when they haven't been available, either emotionally or physically. And so Ace of Swords is a new beginning of this understanding and a new beginning in this direction. So definitely, closing out cycles. You can see this is, a circle, closing out one cycle and then coming and starting a new cycle. There's the moon closing out a cycle. Tarot with cards, you use your intuition, but you also use a lot of the other, like the numerology, the auras, the chakras, and also the symbology. And there's just a lot of green and blue. I think that there's going to be a lot of conversation and openings of understanding, even in these cards. Look at these 3 cards. I mean, the correlation of the colors, the white connecting to the divine. 5D spirituality, higher self. The green is heart chakra. The blues, I mean, there's a little, oh, there's blue in here. Blues, conversation. So opening up that conversation, getting things out on the table, I think is going to be huge for you, Cancer. But let's look at your superpower this week and see what comes into play. What psychic abilities or psychic gifts that you will be able to use, recognize, realize, hone into, practice this week that'll help you in this situation. Obviously, it's, you know, the spirit is saying choose peace and not war, and find it within you to, you know, pull back a little bit. And remember, you know, there is a difference between shields and swords, and so protecting yourself is good, but a continuous fight is exhausting and can really rob your spirit, as well as, you know, I mean, just make you feel like shit. So just saying. All right, so what psychic gift or ability should Cancer be realizing or recognizing and tapping into, practicing this week, the 11th through the 18th, under this full moon in Pisces energy? Spirit, what psychic gift, what? Okay. Well, that's interesting. Okay. So you got discernment and intelligence. So intelligence, it says, now this is talking about using your mind more. You're able to stimulate a person's mind, fusing sexuality with intelligence to achieve your goals. That to me, and I wasn't thinking that that was like an intimate type of sexuality. I think that that goes back to what I was saying, just fusing together the masculine and the feminine and being able to balance those is going to be the magic potion in this dreamy fantasy type of energy that's out there with, you know, this Pisces moon. Bringing those together beautifully, you can be an influence as you bring your masculine and your feminine. And a lot of this has to do with twin flames as well, because twin flames is about you working together, or you mirroring each other to learn what you need to learn, as you are also balancing that duality within yourself, the masculine and the feminine, and using each other to do that, learning from each other, and that using intelligence but connection from the divine and the 5D to balance these out is like the magic. It's like the magic potion that's happening. And so you'll be able to, this gift that you're given of intelligence, will be able to pull that off, essentially. The discernment says you're very particular about the type of person you let in, very protective of yourself. Others feel they must approach you right, which makes it hard to fool you. And you know what? That's just because you have Cancer. You have high value, and that's what you want in your life, because you know that that's going to take you and, you know, your legacy somewhere. And so you're able this week to discern what's good for you, what's not. No need to fight about it. Just be intellectual and wise. And I think through doing that, that might help create this, this Ace of Swords, this understanding and knowledge, and maybe working with people a little better. There being less of a resistance to opening up and bringing stuff to the table. So remember to use that intelligence, that discernment to protect yourself, but remember to balance those dualities within yourself, because this fight looks to be, over, or, coming to a place of transmuting pain into more enriching self, I guess you could say. So, whew, I'm exhausted. Thank you so much, Cancer, for being here. I hope that helps a little bit, and you have a good week. And if you like the video, if you could like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.